Hey everybody, it's Benny1 and I'm back at you with another movie review, and today we're reviewing the sequel to Percy Jackson and the Olympians and the Lightning Thief. And that would be 2013's Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, everyone. So yes, this came out 3 years later after the first Percy Jackson live action movie that is based on the very well-known, very popular, best-selling book series, the Percy Jackson and the Olympians book series that they did 5 books with. And this movie does follow the second book, The Sea of Monsters, which I will say, as someone who has read the 5 books, I do think that The Sea of Monsters is the weakest book in the book series. Not saying it's a bad book or I hate the book, but out of all 5 books, it's the weakest of the book series. So, this movie picks up not too far after the events of the first movie, and it does, it kind of does a better job following the actual book than the first movie did. Because the first movie did not follow the book very well. They changed literally one of the main things about the story. They changed a lot of things about the story. They didn't follow the book very well, basically. This one does a little bit better job, but we will get to that. So our cast pretty much all came back for this movie. Percy's back. Annabeth, Grover, Luke, they're all back. The same actors and actresses are back playing these characters. Chiron, who Pierce Brosnan played, he got recast in this movie, unfortunately, and I don't like the guy that they recast him with. They make him wear normal clothes in the entire movie, which I found strange because it's not how he was dressed in the first one. He had like his warrior garments on through the whole movie. It's like just what he wore. So I'm not sure. I didn't like the casting, and it's nothing against the actor that played him. I don't know, it just didn't fit. I liked Pierce Brosnan's version of that character more. And we get introduced to a new demigod, Clarice, everyone. And she and Percy have this feud with each other about who the best demigod is and who's going on the missions and doing the best missions and being victorious with the mission. So they have this little feud that's very predictable. You've seen it in movies before where they have a feud, they have to work together, they learn to work together, and then they make up and they kind of become friends and they respect each other by the end of the movie. You've seen it in movies. That's the thing. That's a lot of what's going on in this movie. You've seen it. You've seen it as an adventure movie. I mean, the things that I loved about the first one, they're still here in this one. All of the Greek mythology that takes place in modern times and in modern locations, you get more of that in here. But that's just the whole point of this taking place in current modern times in the book series and the movies. So that's all here still. And I do like our Percy and Grover, I think they grow in this movie. I feel like Annabeth, though, kind of doesn't. She kind of slides back, and they don't make her seem as fierce of a warrior that she was in the first one. Like in the first one, they made her seem like she was this bad ass, fierce demigod chick warrior that you did not want to screw with. And in this one, I kind of feel like they weakened her character for some reason, and her hair was a completely different color, which I think they did to match the book more, which, okay. But yeah, and now we're gonna get to the negative stuffs, because I will appreciate that they tried to correct things that a lot of people were mad about the first one, but the problem is they retconned so much of what happened in the first one, trying to fix stuff to make the fans of the book series happy. Like, I love the book series, but I would have rather have had them just continue the path and the trajectory that they were going with that first one, instead of trying to turn around and retcon and repair and fix everything, because it affected the story. When you do that kind of stuff, it affects the story, a la The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. Like, bam, literally, The Rise of Skywalker was retconning everything about The Last Jedi. That the whole new Star Wars trilogy, in fact, literally is retcon. They just literally like, and it affects the stories, unfortunately, and it does it in this movie also. It just really affects the movie completely, and they should have just stuck with what they were going with. I do find the movie somewhat, it is entertaining. I like these movies solely based on just a pure entertainment value. They're not very well made movies. Some of the acting is not very good in them. Yeah, they introduced some cool new characters, I guess, like Percy's half demigod brother, Tyson, who is a Cyclops. It's kind of interesting. He's very dopey, though, in the movie. Very dopey. And the movie also has a lot of death fake outs. Like, there's too many, like, death fake outs. And because they're going after this golden fleece, which basically can bring anything back to life. That's the whole point. And once you know that this golden fleece can basically bring anything back to life, and once they get their hands on it towards the end of the movie, if anyone dies, you pretty much know they're not going to die and they're going to come back. And that's why there's too many fake outs with the deaths with the characters. So it's a fun little adventure movie. I don't think it's as good as the first one, though. Unfortunately, not that the first one was flat out amazing. I think the production value was less in this one. Camp Half-Blood was completely different in this movie. Nothing at Camp Half-Blood remotely looked the same. So they clearly made a different set, different location, and everything. Like it doesn't follow the book very well. The movie does not. It follows the book a little more than the first one, but it still does not follow the book very well. And the retconning, it just, yeah. And the production value was, there were parts of it that looked great. Like when they were out in the ocean going to the Bermuda Triangle, I felt like there was some pretty cool looking stuff. But yeah, just overall, a dud, man, a dud. And it sucks because I really wanted them to continue on making the movies out of the books, but unfortunately that is not happening because this came out in 2013 and it is now 2022, and we're getting a TV series on Disney Plus, which they'll probably do it justice. So at least I hope they do. So we're going to give Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, I'm giving this one a 5 out of 10. It's just, I can enjoy it to a level of enjoyment, but overall as a movie and everything, adapting a book, it's not the best thing in the world. So a 5 out of 10 for Percy Jackson and the Sea of Monsters, everyone. I hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you for watching, and be catching you on the tube later because I have spoken.